Hi guys, AstroCass back with a quick astrology update. Don't mind me, Mercury retrograde and having an almost 4-month-old baby has been hectic for me, but I really wanted to get a quick update out for the upcoming Aries full moon. So that's happening on the 10th of October in Australia. So I'm from Tasmania in Hobart. But yeah, just adjust for different time zones. The information's still relevant, but just different times. But yeah, in Australia it's on the 10th. And it's happening at 7:54 a.m. Again, that's for Australian Eastern Standard Time, so adjust for your time zone. Obviously, let's talk about Aries. Aries is pioneering energy. It's passionate. It's all about war and aggression. It's what we're fighting for, we're fighting with. It's our action, it's our energy. It's the ram, it's the first of the zodiacs. It's really independent, and it's like a child. Like, you know how they just express their emotions so assertively and so openly. They'll cry when they're hungry. Like, you'll know exactly what's needed from a baby. Aries energy is very much like that. It is the baby of the zodiac. So that definitely just describes Aries energy quite well. It's ruled by Mars. It's a fire sign. So let's jump into it and talk about this full moon. It's the last one before we get into eclipse season 2. So again, that's another thing to take note of. But it's happening at roughly like 16, 17 degrees, 16 degrees, 32 minutes or something like that. The full moon basically occurs when the sun is opposite the moon. So there's an opposition happening. So the sun is actually in Libra at 16 degrees with Venus at, roughly 12 to 13 degrees. So they're in Libra. Venus is in rulership there. She rules Libra. So that's making her very powerful there and adding a lot of love and support to our relationships and to that sun there in Libra. A lot of diplomacy, a lot of balance and harmony and peace and love there. It's opposite the moon that is in the fiery Aries, so it's an Aries full moon. So our emotions are like passionate, they're fiery, they're heated, they're reactive. So we need to learn how to bring, a bit of love and our ego, our confidence, our vitality, our identity into this situation with the full moon. What else do we have? We have Saturn playing a pretty big role in this full moon as well, because it's trine the sun and sextile the moon. So remembering trines are really harmonious supports given between the two planets, so between the sun and Saturn. Saturn's all about restrictions. It's about foundations, responsibility, duty, being reliable, hard work, all those sorts of things. It's about lessons. And Saturn is currently in Aquarius. Aquarius is all about our friendships, our communities, groups we're a part of. It's the rebellious energy. It's all of that. It can be technology as well, and like online social media as well. And then you also have Saturn sextiling the moon. So sextiles are opportunities or like skills, those sorts of things. So again, it's another helpful sign. So it's just showing that Saturn is, giving some of that responsibility, some of those foundations, some of that support to our emotions and some stability there, hopefully. Some practical support there. And we also have Mars. So Mars is the actual ruler of this full moon because it's an Aries full moon, and it's in Gemini, and it's very close to going retrograde. So it's important to keep that in note because that's going to play out with this full moon as well. Because this full moon energy, full moons will be, cycles, endings, ending and being completed over the next like 3-ish months. Sometimes they can happen straight away, but sometimes you can take up to about 3 months to see these events happening. What you need to do is look for that Aries house in your natal chart and find out what area of life this is happening in, and do you have any planets there, especially any planets at 17 degrees in Aries or just 17 degrees in general, could be playing a big part in this, any aspects that are happening to this full moon. If you don't know how to do that, or you don't know how to look at your chart, or you want to know what's going on, I do readings, natal chart readings, and just support. So I'll link all my information below. So if you want to get a reading with me, please do. I love to help you guys and offer my insight into all this stuff. But yeah, Mars the ruler. So Mars is in Gemini. As I mentioned, it is sending a trine to the sun. So again, that's support. So remember, Aries and Mars is like our energy and our action, what we're doing, what we're fighting for. So Mars being in Gemini is, you know, assertive communication, fiery communication, can be anger or aggressive communication, aggression online in social media. Again, Gemini is another one of those social media type of houses. It's our house of communication, of learning. It's also short distance travel. It also rules over things like newspapers, news, and like emails and stuff like that, which is why it can be linked to the internet and social media. It's also, Gemini is like the merchant, as well known as the merchant, so keep all that in mind as well. So Gemini and Mars together, it's definitely, you know, very heated conversations, fiery words, assertive, independence, all those sorts of things. And so it's sending a trine to the sun, so it's offering support to our ego with how we're taking action in that Gemini house and what we're doing to that Libra house over there. And then it's also sending a sextile to the moon. Again, the sextiles are skills and support being offered to our emotions from that Gemini house through Mars. So again, the way we're taking actions with our communication and being assertive, being passionate, is supporting our emotions, our needs, our security in that Aries house. So again, that's really nice to see that play out there and getting a little bit of support there. I already mentioned, obviously, Venus is conjunct the sun, so Venus is playing a major role in this this full moon as well. So realistically, the key here is that there's a lot going on, so you really need to look at your own natal chart to find out exactly what's happening for you. Globally, I would expect a lot of diplomacy, a lot of you know, events with relationships, with being assertive, a lot of anger or outbursts, or, you know, heated conversations on the news, in social media, those sorts of things. You know, maybe people having arguments, conflicts, those sorts of things online. Definitely to be expected, but as I said, there are some nice aspects going on here too, so it's not all bad. But the thing that does, you know, concern me the most is that Mars is about to go retrograde, and that is going to be quite challenging, so some of that energy might play out with this full moon as well. Again, really take care with how you're taking action, think things through, be really clear and deliberate with how you're taking actions, with how you're speaking and communicating. Remember to bring a bit of love, that Libra, Sun and Venus. Bring some love into your relationships, into your situations, and definitely try and find harmony and balance with those situations with this full moon. Remember, full moons are a time for releasing. It's not an overly great time to manifest or to plant the seeds of intention, start something new. That's for new moons. Full moons are completions, endings, cycles being released. So whether you do like an Epsom salt bath or an incense cleanse, crystal cleanse, whatever you want to do for yourself, definitely do some kind of cleansing, some kind of ritual. I put a lot of stuff up on Instagram too, so come check me out on Instagram. My details are below. Also, I usually put some short stuff up on TikTok, so all my social media links and information are down below. Give us a like if you enjoyed this little quick update, and don't forget to follow me and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss any of my content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.